Good morning. Welcome to my stream. It's Wednesday, and we're going to get right to it with more Rust Roguelike tutorial. Let me switch over here before I forget. Here we go. Let's just take a quick peek. Who's doing Rust right now? Mr. Glitchbite. Alright, that happens sometimes. Okay, so let's, so where did we finish yesterday? We finished with moving everything that we had over to, we just finished doing the bear trap in the door. We had done all the other little things along the way. We can take a look at the raws data and see. So we have all the items: health potion, magic missile, scroll, fireball, confusion, mapping, rations, dagger, everything. So everything has been transitioned over. So now we're going to be working on this here, data-driven spawn tables. So let me just set up. I forgot to set this up over here. There we go. Okay. So let's dig right in. Here. In the previous chapter, we moved spawning to be data-driven. You define your monsters, items, and props in a JSON file, and then the spawn function becomes a parser that builds components based on your definitions. This gets you halfway to a data-driven world. If you look at the ever-shrinking spawner.rs file, we have hard-coded a table for handling spawning. Yep, that's right at the end. Although this looks different, probably because I was deleting things. That's my guess. It served us well for these chapters, but sadly it's time to put it out to pasture. We'd like to be able to specify the spawn table in our JSON data. That way we can add new entities to the data file and spawn list, and they appear in the game with no additional Rust coding, unless they need new features, in which case it's time to extend the engine. So a JSON-based spawn table. Here's an example of how I'm envisioning our spawn table. We have the spawn table, name, weight, min depth, and max depth. So similar to what we've got here, although this just has suggested depth, I guess. So the spawn table is an array with each entry containing something that can be spawned. We're storing the name of the spawnable. We'll give it a weight. We'll add a min and max depth. And this looks pretty good, so let's put all our entities in. Oh boy. Okay. This is JSON code, so I'm just going to do the copy paste thing. So this goes in as, oh, I see. So this will just go in here. And I tried doing a paste before and it didn't work. So before I do that, raws spawns like that. Paste that in, and then we'll edit it and move the brace to the correct location. Oh, need to do that. Up here, shift this over and paste that there. Oh, and then I forgot the comma. Like that. And it doesn't like the comma at the end. So there must be something coming later for them to have grabbed the comma there. Okay. So I think this is everything. Add map depth to weight to true. Okay. That's new. No, okay, yeah. Notice that we've added add map depth to weight to allow us to indicate that things become more probable later in the game. That lets us keep variable weighting capability. We've also put longsword and tower shield only occurring after the first level. So min depth of 1. Apparently magic missiles. Oh yeah, everything else has a min depth of 0. Yeah, okay. That's pretty comprehensive. So let's make a new spawn table structs in raws to define the classes required to read this data. Okay, so source raws and spawn table structs.rs. So this is just putting in the JSON, in the struct, what's coming out of the JSON. Pub min depth, I32, max depth. It's an option bool. Option bool feels weird to me. Because if it's none, that's the same thing as false, so why not just put false in there? Maybe it makes it easier for this so we don't have to add it to every single entry. Okay. And then open up rawsmod.rs. We do have to add this in here, mod spawn table structs, and then use them. Like that. And then we got to add the spawn table here. Like that. And then we'll also add it to the constructor in raw master. Except we don't have to because I did a default in raw master. Yep. So we just did a default instead. So that makes it easier. We do need to add the oh, no, we don't. I guess we don't need indices for the spawn tables. So it's worth doing a quick cargo run now just to be sure the spawn table is loading without errors. All right, we'll do a quick cargo check first. A quick cargo, there we go. So we got 3 warnings, probably because we're not using, yeah. Oh. We included renderable. So what's the 3rd warning? I see these 2. All right. Oh, and the 3rd one generated 1. Oh, all right. I'm not gonna worry about it. Okay. Yeah. So if we refresh here, it should work. Yep, and it did. And we generated a map. It loaded the spawn table, I assume, because no errors occurred. Well, this is an interesting map. How do I get out of here? Oh, I didn't notice that this was a... Yeah, that's why I don't like doing this way. Okay. In rawmaster, we're going to add a new function to build random spawn table from our JSON data. Okay. So down here, I guess we can add a, what's a spawn position, spawn name, get spawn. So we're going to be calling it get spawn table for depth. I'll put it at the bottom. Okay. Use super spawn table entry. Why isn't that at the top? This is similar to the code we already wrote for generating, but this is depth is less than or equal to a max depth. And then collect. And then we're going to, for E in available options, here. Grab the weight, we'll add the depth. Let's see, this is interesting. So we're just checking to see if it is sum. So the fact that it's a Boolean doesn't matter. So it's just the fact that it exists matters. I guess that's the only, that's the best way to go from JSON to on or off. And then we clone the names. Oh well. Okay, this function is quite simple. We obtain raw's spawn table, which is the master spawn table list. We obtain an iterator. We use filter to only include items that are within the requested map depths range. We collect it into a vector of references to spawn table entry lines. We iterate all of the collected available options. We grab the weight. The entry has an add map to depth to weight requirement. We add the depth, and then we add it to our random table. So in spawner.rs, we should be able to just call that. Let's see if it checks. It does not. I forgot a colon. And it doesn't like random table. Cannot find random table in this scope. Do I have to pull it in here? Create components, create spawner. Use create random table. Okay. I didn't realize it was a separate thing. And Ross is not found in the scope. Oh, because I forgot the colon, right? And the random table. Okay, let's check this. Okay, so we're back to the 3 warnings. Very good. So now we go down to spawner. Spawner. Room table. Where's that? It's in here. Instead of this, we just call get spawn table for depth. Raw's lock on map and map depth. And all of that goes away. Wow, that's a short function. Does the job, however. If you cargo run now, you'll be playing the game just like before. Alright. Still not using renderable out of here. I'm guessing that's coming soon. Expected struct random table found nothing. Oh, because I put a semicolon. That was dumb. Source tutorial spawner. That was dumb. Okay. And you know what? We're going to go back over to source raw's spawn table structs. There's no reason to have this in here if it's just causing us headaches. Yep, okay, we're good. It's nice and clean. We build the WASM file and then we'll just load the map and see. We should be getting spawns, so we'll just run around until we see a few things spawn. Well, this one doesn't count. Oh, okay, so rations spawned. That's good. What else? We see doors. Ooh, health potion, rations, and a door. Okay, so things are spawning nicely. Including goblins, apparently. Okay, good. So let's check this in. Oops. Yes, I did mean Clippy. Oh, and also raws. Git commit move spawn table to JSON. Okay, so that's done. What's next? Adding some sanity checks. We've now got the ability to add entities without ever touching our Rust code. Before we explore that, let's look at adding some sanity checking to the system to help avoid mistakes. We simply change the load function. What are we doing? What are we doing here? We create used names as a hash set. Whenever we load something, we add it to the set. If it already exists, then we've made a duplicate and bad things will happen. So warn the user, and then we iterate the spawn table. And if we reference an entity name that hasn't been defined, we again warn the user. Spawn tables references unspecified entity. Okay. All right, so we're just going to what files is this in raw master? And this is our load. So we have this, and then we have a hash set of used names. So we're going to have to add hash set to this. And we're going to create a new hash set here. Let mod used names. I think that Rust will be able to infer the type. Let's find out. For an item, if used names contains item name, then RLTK console log format warning duplicate item name in RAWs. Aaron Tier, thank you for the raid. I had added a sound for raids, but it didn't play, so I'm not sure what's going on. But thank you. Much appreciated. What were you working on? Item.name. So we just do that, and then we don't want to insert it, right? If there's a failure, it already exists. So maybe we just do this. We'll say else. And then used names, insert item name clone. It would be great if we could just do references to the names instead. And then we have to play around with lifetimes. That would be something to learn. Irritator says we are making a recipe book app using a rad called Lazarus and FPC. Okay, that sounds interesting. I'll look that up real quick. Lazarus FPC. It's a Delphi compatible cross-platform IDE for rapid application development. Oh wow. Is this free? You're doing it in Pascal? Wow. Wow, I haven't played with Pascal in at least a decade. Very cool. Using the free Pascal compiler. Okay, that's neat. So we do the exact same thing for the mobs and for the props, and then at the bottom we're going to do for spawn. I'll come back to those, but self raws spawn table iter if used names contains spawn name. Then we're going to RLTK console log format warning spawn tables references unspecified entity blah spawn name. Irritator says last time I was in high school. Oh, you haven't used it since high school, huh? 25 years ago. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't want to say when I was in high school. Mostly getting angry with how old the compiler is and how messed up the IDE is. Oh, that sounds like fun. Is it an open source IDE? Maybe that would be yeah, it's on GitLab. So is it also written in Pascal? Is the IDE written in Pascal too? All right, so we're going to just basically copy paste all this code. One of the things I'm noticing here is that used names is going to be unique. So you can't have an item with the same name as a mob or a prop. So you can't create a mob called door if there's a prop called door, otherwise it'll warn about this. It's 100% OSS, and it's in free Pascal. Okay. Neat. I'm very impressed. All right, so what we're going to do is just do the same thing we have here. Put this here, shift this over. Oop, I spelled insert incorrectly. Insert, and then copy paste. We'll do the warning. Oh, it's the same exact, duplicate item name, and then this will be duplicate mob name, else this. Rust is good at warning you about usual tropes with naming variables. Yeah, that's true. If you name them without underscores, or if you do use camel case, it'll complain. Like if I said let foo bar equals true, Clippy will complain that this should be foo underscore bar. And then finally we have this last one here, prop names. So let's grab this, put those there, shift that over, 3Y, paste, and change mob to prop. Oh, and then I have to change these guys. This is, instead of item name, is mob name, and instead of item name, it's props name. Right? Oh, and these guys too. There we go. You mostly use Go for work? Yeah, I've played around with Go and I played around with Rust, and Rust seems to fit my brain a little bit better. Oh, I forgot the closing guy over here. I think that's it. You're in 2. Thank you for the follow. I mostly do Rust here, so I don't think... Oh, that's right. This has to be mob, and this has to be props. So please don't be disappointed if I don't do any Go. All right, take care, and again, thank you for the raid. All right, so this checks. None of these should be hit, right? Because all of these have, we don't have any duplicates. These types of data entry bugs are common, but won't actually crash the program. It's just a sanity check, right? You can replace the println, or the console log rather, with a panic and crash. But all right, so this should still, so we built the WASM. I think we can just, let me close this and then just hit refresh here. Yeah, everything worked fine. Oh, we are getting these. We don't know how to spawn none, and I don't know where that's coming from. So let me actually, if I run it here, we should see those error messages on the in the terminal window. So let me see those, and then maybe what I can do is panic on those and see where those are coming from. Yeah. So quit out of there, and what I'll do is, what's it called? We don't know how to spawn. Let's grep for that. We don't know how to spawn. I forgot where I put that. Of course it's in spawner. Where else would it be? So 92. Instead of doing this, we're going to just say panic, boom. And then we should get a stack trace. And we can find out who's calling us with a none. I was just looking back here to see if I could find the, I forget what the, here it is, Rust backtrace. Equals 1, cargo run. Okay, so it is coming from builder chain spawn entities mod.rs line 168. So let's take a look at that. Oh, I already forgot where it was. There it is. 168. So one of these is a none, and it's coming out of the spawn list. Oh, dang, right. So we need to now figure out where in the code we're generating the spawn list. And that could be in whatever map is being generated. All right. Yeah, it comes out of here, but when we generate the map, yeah, so this is coming out of this. Random builder. Right, this is that part. Where's the spawn code? Here's Voronoi spawning, or room-based spawner. One of these two guys, maybe both of them, are generating these nuns. Let's go to this guy first and see. Spawner, spawn room. Let's look at spawn room. All this does is generate all the possible targets for spawning in. And this passes in the spawn list that gets populated. Spawn region, maybe spawn region is putting in. Spawn list push, spawn 0, spawn 1. Spawn gets generated. Spawn points. Spawn points. So maybe spawn table role is returning a none. Where is this? It's right here. Oh yeah, sometimes it'll return none if it can't find something. Oh, so what we should do is have it ignore anything where it's none. Okay, so now I see where it's coming from. We're actually returning none. It's saying, okay, we couldn't find anything to spawn based on the weight of the things that are in your spawn table, so we're going to just say none. What's a good way to solve this? Well, you know what we're going to do is check in what we've got now, because this works. Let me get rid of the panic I added. Boom. There it is. Okay, I'll get rid of the panic. Git status. And what did we do? Oh, all we did was add in the error checking. Okay, so let's make sure Clippy is happy. And then push this, or commit this. Git add source. What we got? Git commit -m. Error checking for JSON data. Okay, and then what we'll do is we're going to go back to that file, which I've forgotten where we were, but we can grep for none. Let me find it. Source tutorial random. Source tutorial random table. It's at the bottom, and what we'll do is we'll change this into, instead of returning a string, we'll return an option string and see what breaks. And this will just return none, and this will return some. This. Okay, and now what's going to break? Okay, so right here we'll say if let some spawn equals spawn table role RNG, then we'll put it in the spawn points. What else broke? That's it? That's it, that's good. Yep, okay, so now we shouldn't see those. We don't know how to spawn none. So let's regenerate the WASM here and hit refresh. Refresh. Begin the game. Yeah, okay, so those are all gone. That's good. And then let's just check this in as a quick fix. Git add source git commit. Don't return a none string if we cannot spawn an item entity. There. Okay, good. That makes me feel better. So benefiting from our data-driven structure. So let's quickly add a new weapon and new monster to the game. We can do this without touching the Rust code other than to recompile. In spawns.json, let's add a battle axe. Okay? Let's put it next to the other weapons here. So we have a long sword. We'll copy paste that and just change this to a battle axe. The battle axe has a paragraph symbol, which I don't know how to type on my keyboard, so I'm just going to copy paste that. Like that. And then this is a 5/5. Order is 2. Range is melee, and the power bonus is 5. Okay? And we'll add it to the spawn table. So we go down to here. After longsword, we'll put battle axe. Min depth is 2. Max depth is 100. We're missing a comma there, but that's okay. And let's also add a humble kobold. It's basically an even weaker goblin. We like kobolds. Let's have lots of them. Okay, so where's our goblin? Here's the goblin. Let's grab the goblin and paste goblin in. Put a comma after this. And change this to a kobold. I think it's a K. Foreground is still red. Order is still 1. We have true. Max HP is 4. Hit points is 4. Defense is 0 and power is 2. Oops. And vision range is 4. Okay. And then we have to add it to the spawn list. Alright. Weight is 15. Min depth is 0, max depth is 3. Okay? If you cargo on the project now, you'll find new entities in the game. Alright, let's go find some kobolds. After we regenerate the WASM file for 14 seconds. Okay, actually it only took 12. Not bad. Oh, we must be in a maze. Yeah, we're in one of these maze things. There's a goblin. Got a magic missile scroll. Oh, there's a kobold. Oh, you can't see us because their vision sucks. There we go. Boom, 1 hit. I hit for 5 because his defense is lower than the goblin. Goblins I was hitting for 4. Okay, so this works. And all we did was change the spawn table. We didn't do anything else. I mean the JSON file. We didn't change any code. And we got... Finding the battle axe will be harder because we'll have to go down to level 3 and then hunt around. So I'm not gonna do that. Alright, so git add raws. Git commit mission, playing around with new items and spawn table entries. Okay, so that was a quick chapter. Let's take a look at what's next. So we're going to be making a town, populating a town, and then we're going to have living bystanders. Those will be the next 3 chapters. So let's dig right in. Close this up. What is the town for? Let's push this up so we have a nice clean workspace to work with. It should be up on my commits. Yep, all good. So back in the design document, we decided the game starts in a town. In town, there's only minimal enemies, pickpockets, and thugs, and you start into to-be-named pub, tavern, armed with only a meager purse, minimal starting equipment, a stein of beer, a dried sausage, a backpack, and a hangover. Okay. Town lets you visit various vendors. From a development point of view, this tells us a few things. This town has a story aspect, in that you start there and it I think this means it grounds the story, giving a starting point, a destiny, in this case a drunken promise to save the world. That's right, we're finding the amulet of Yala or something like that. So in town implies a certain cozy starting point. Town is vendors. It makes sense at this point because we don't have a value or currency system, but we know we need somewhere to put them. Town has a tavern inn pub, starting location. It's important enough that it needs to do something. Elsewhere in the design document, we mentioned that you can town portal back to the settlement. It needs to be consistent about terms here. This again implies a certain coziness, safety, and also implies that doing so is useful. Finally, the town is the winning condition. Once you grab the amulet of Yala, that's right, yet another lost amulet, I think it stands for. Getting back to the town lets you save the world, and that implies the town should have some sort of holy structure to which you have to return the amulet. Town is the first thing new players will encounter, so it has to look alive and somewhat slick, or players will just close the window and try something else. Also may serve as a location for some tutorials. This sort of discussion is essential to game design. You don't want to implement something just because you can. Town has a purpose, and the purpose guides its design. So what do you have to include in a town? One or more merchants, friendly/neutral NPCs, a temple, a tavern, place at town portals arrive, a way out to begin your adventure. You can also think a little bit about what makes a town. There's generally a communication route, otherwise the town will prosper. Probably trade route, right? Frequently there's a market. There's also certainly either a river or deep natural water source. Towns typically, or put in an aqueduct, right? The towns typically have authority figures, visible at least as guards or watch, and the towns also generally have a shady side. So how do we want to generate our town? We could go for a prefab town. This has the upside that the town can be tweaked until it's just right. It has the downside that getting out of town becomes a purely mechanical step after the first couple of playthroughs. Look at Joppa and Caves of Cut. It became a little more than I grab the chest content, talk to these guys, and off you go. Speed bump start to an amazing game. So what we want is a procedurally generated town, but we want to keep it functional and make it pretty. Not too much to ask. So we're going to create new tile types now. From the above, it sounds like we're going to need some new tiles. The ones that spring to mind for a town are roads, grass, water, both deep and shallow, bridge, wooden floors, and building walls. One thing we can count on, we're going to add lots of new tile types as we progress, so we better take the time to make it a seamless experience up front. The map.rs could get quite complicated if we're not careful, so let's make it into its own module with the directory. We'll start by making a directory map, and then we'll move map.rs into it and rename it mod.rs. And now we'll take tile type out of mod.rs and put it in a new file, tiletype.rs. Okay, so let's do all that. So we create source map, we move source, and now we get into the issue of the fact that I reorganized things already, and now we're going to have a hard time with things. We're going to take tile type out of mod.rs and call it tiletype.rs. So let me take a look at this, and tile type gets its own thing. So we have this, and tile type, and that's it. And then we have to do this mod tile type, use tile type. Okay, so let's edit map, and then now that we broke everything in this game, we're going to have to readjust everything. So this now gets a mod tile type and a pub use tile type, and this goes away. Oh, not that part. This goes away. Alright, so now this is broken because map, it needs to be included in main, and we're going to have to figure all this out. Right, so this is where we start to fail. So I think in source lib, Yeah, so this is where we're going to send pub mod map, pub use map, colon star, and remove it from here. Okay, and then super no longer has a map, but I think we can do that. Could not find map in super. Okay, so here's where I got stuck before. I threw it into here. Oh. Yeah, this is all the stuff that's in the tutorial level. And if I look in source lib, I put map here. So it should be in, maybe it's in crate map. We might be moving the map indexing system also. So doing this might just be a waste of time. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to just have to do that here. Use crate map. Where else? And then tile type also comes from this crate. Map and tile type. Okay, what other things are we missing here? Oh, really? Save load system. So this has to be crate map like this, I think. Let's see if that works. Oh, we got one more warning. Oh, you need to import. Why is pubmod raws here? This is interesting. I don't have to do a mod for at this level. Use RT map star. Can I get away with that? I can. Okay. And can I get away with removing this? Because there's no other pubs. Yeah. Okay. So I can go away too. Very good. Okay. That makes me happy. So we did this. We did this. This hasn't gained us much yet, but now we can start supporting the various tile types. As we add functionality, you hopefully see why using a separate file makes it easier to find the relevant code. Alright, so we're going to just add all these guys to our tile type. Let's just check this in as a refactor. Refactor map to its own module. So now, yes, so tile type. We have wall, floor, downstairs. Now we're going to add road, grass, shallow water, deep water, wood floor, and bridge. Alright, so this is only part of the picture because now we need to handle a bunch of grunt work. Can you enter tiles of that type? Do they block visibility? Do they have a different cost for pathfinding and so on? So this you is the player. I got lost for a second there. Can the player enter tiles of that type? Do the tiles block visibility? Do they have different costs and so on? Okay. We've also done a lot of spawn if it's a floor code in our map builders, so maybe that wasn't such a good idea if you can have multiple floor types. Anyway, the current map.rs provides some of what we need in order to satisfy base map trait for RLTK. We'll make a few functions to help satisfy this requirement while keeping our tile functionality in one place. So, where are they suggesting this code goes? I don't want to run the code. I don't want to show hidden lines. I don't want to copy to clipboard. I just want to see... Is this in the current map.rs? Which doesn't exist. There is no more map.rs. Maybe they meant map mod.rs. Possibly. Now we'll go into, no, this says we'll go back to mod.rs and import these. Oh, they're putting them in the tile type. Okay, I missed that. That should have been up here somewhere. Okay, tile type. Let's add these. Now, why can't they be, here's my question is, why can't they just be, why can't we say impl tile type and say pub fun tile walkable self bool, and then we can just, if we have a tile type, we can just say tile type walkable, tile walkable, something like that. Okay, let's do it the way they've got it, and then we can refactor later if I get the energy. Tile walkable, turn the bool. And I'm just thinking about how we're going to do this. It would be nice if there was some data associated with it, right? To say whether it was walkable or not. But okay, we'll do it this way. Match TT tile type floor. Can I do this? Use tile type : star. And then just do floor, or downstairs, or road. Anything else is false. Does that work? That does not check. Oh. Oh, yeah. So we're going to have issues with everything, aren't we? Okay. And then we're going to add pub fun tile opaque. File opaque? Tile OPAQUE. Tile type is a bool. And we're going to just say, I'm just going to write for now, just put wall, TT equals wall, and leave it like that, and we can always expand it later. So we'll go back to mod.rs and import these. Oh, right. I hit Control D to save and check, but I don't want to check yet. Source map mod.rs. We now need to import all that stuff, so let's just do that. We also need to update some of our functions to use this functionality. We determine a lot of pathfinding with the blocked system, so we'll need to update populate blocked to handle the various types. So here's populate blocked. And we're just going to say if not tile walkable, star tile. Right, so what I was saying before is instead what we can do is say tile walkable. Why not do it that way? Or not, like that. Anyway, we're doing it this way for now. We'll also need to update our visibility determination code. So we're going to look for is opaque. There it is. So we get the index if idxu is greater than 0, idxu is less than self tiles len. Then we're going to return tile OPAQUE self tiles idxu, or self view blocked, which is already there, contains that, else true. Okay, so now it's saying anything outside the range is opaque. All right, so lastly, let's look at get available exits. This uses the blocked system to determine if an exit is possible, but so far we've hard-coded all of our costs. When there's just a floor and a wall to choose from, it's a pretty easy choice after all. Once we start offering choices, we might want to encourage certain behaviors. It would certainly look more realistic if people preferred to travel on the road than the grass, and it's definitely more realistic if they avoid standing in shallow water unless they need to. So we'll build a cost function in tiletype.rs. Did everything check out first? Did we finish all the things we need to finish? We did not. IDX. Oh, that's right. I called it. I just did a shadow thing. Okay. I forgot I did that. Tiles. Oop. One more. Okay, so we still have this issue here with get tile glyph. Which apparently is not being addressed here anywhere. Oops. Let me just scan forward here. Oh yeah, here we go. Here we go. We're going to add the tile glyph this way. Okay. So we're getting there apparently. So first let's add this tile cost here. Pub fun tile cost. Returning an F32, match TT. Tile type, road is 0.8. Grass is 1.1. And the shallow water is 1.2. And everything else is 1.0. Okay. And then we're going to fix get available exits, which isn't in this file. Oh, it's not in camera. It's in map, right? There it is. Quaker, hello. Welcome to the stream. RLTK small vec new. We changed this up, didn't we? So now we're going to change this to just a vec I32 F32 is vec new. This stays the same, this stays the same, and now we're going to push. Oh, all these are 1.0s, and then we have 1.45s for the corners or diagonals. So we're going to just say tile cost times that value, and we got to put that everywhere. Tile cost TT times. Like that. Okay, so that fixes all of that. Quaker says, is that pure Vim? It's NeoVim with a few plugins. So I can hit a key and then it'll save all my edited files and it'll tell me what errors, how many of the errors there are, and then where they are. And it looks like I just made an error here. Why is that missing out of here? That's weird. Help you. Oh, whoa. Did not mean to do that. What? Oh, I'm dumb. I'm dumb. There we go. And then TT has to come from somewhere. So we have to say let TT equal. We don't use width anywhere? Yeah, we do. Oh. Oh yeah, okay. So all I did was move it here. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I forgot. This has been a while since we looked at this code. Self tiles. IDX has usize. Oh, it already is usize. That was something else I changed. Okay. Oh! So we can do the usize here. Yeah, and now we have to change this thing that returns it. So we're going to just say, yeah, just to a vec of usize f32. And this is probably going to, I don't know where we call this, but this is going to have to change as well. Oh, we can only do, Has incompatible type for trait. Does it have to be I32? Yeah. So okay, now I'm confused because this is expecting. So our trait, which is what we're implementing here, is base map. Oh, we have to change. Where's base map defined? Oops. Is here. So it has to be a small vec of usize f32. It has to be this. And 10. So it's interesting that the tutorial is changing it up to this. Quaker says just cargo check. Yeah, my hotkey saves everything and runs a cargo check and then creates the quick fix list. And Just a Bubble says, also don't need to star the tile cost by 1. Oh, multiply. Yeah, you're right. You don't have to multiply the tile cost by 1 anymore. You're absolutely right. Quaker, thank you for the follow. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to have to change this back to a small vec. There's no, we can't get away with this, what was it, RLTK small vec? Let me take a look at base map again because I want to copy the type exactly. Yeah, small vec of an array of 10, like that. And it's got to be usize. Back here, 10. And now I forgot what the line was. Let's take a look at the line. Oh, I saved it. Right. Get diff. Okay, so it was just RLTK small vec new. Okay, we'll do that. Like that. And now, let's see what happens. Still 2 errors. Oh, right. So this is in the get tile glyph. Let's change all of those 1.0s. Actually, space star 1.0, right? Nope. Space star 1. Okay. There. Okay. Fixed. So now in the camera code in get tile glyph, we have floor, wood floor, and wall. We're going to add down. Oh, we already have downstairs. Or wood floor is over here. Sorry. Tile type wood floor is RLTK 2 CP 437. On the wood floor is just going to be a dot, but probably a different color. And RGB named RLTK CHOCOLATE, comma. Yep. Okay. The wall does the same thing as it did before. We have the downstairs up there. Okay, so now bridge. Tile type bridge is going to return RLTK to CP437 of tilde. No, wrong line. Oh, bridge is a dot also? That's going to be confusing because if wooden floor and a bridge look the same. Oh, well, okay, fair enough. All right, and then we have road, grass, shallow water, and deep water. Road is a tilde, and it's going to be gray. Grass is going to be quote, and it's going to be green. Shallow water is going to be this little wavy equal sign, which I'll have to copy paste like that, and then it's cyan, and then deep water is also a tilde, and it's going to be navy blue. Okay, then the bloodstains and then the visible tiles. Okay, so now let's do a quick check here. Nope, we still have issues. For draw map. This is okay. Now I'm confused because we have a get tile glyph. We should be using get tile glyph here. Why do we have this draw map? Who calls this one? Because this looks like it's duplicate code, right? And we shouldn't be doing... Uh-oh. Okay, RG draw map. Oh, it's not being called from anywhere. All right, let's see if we can just blow it away. Wait, was this? Yeah, this is a function on its own. Okay, so blow this away. Yeah, okay. And now we have 4 warnings. Let's do a quick target check here. Documents. Dev, RT. And then see what they are. Okay, so we're not using RLTK or RGB. We're not using wall glyph. And we're not using is revealed and wall. Okay, so here's wall glyph. We don't need that. We don't need is revealed and wall. And then RLTK and RGB are not used. So let's do a quick cargo check there. Okay, so we're back down to no errors and no warnings. Let me just build the WASM again and refresh to make sure that we're actually seeing maps now. Okay, refresh. Yep, this looks like a map being drawn. This is a maze map, which is unfortunate because it's hard to see things. Let's hit refresh. Okay, now we have a slightly less mazy map. Oh, wow. It's tiny. Oh, I'm going too fast. There's a trap. Okay, so things seem to be drawn. This is good. I wanted to make sure I see the downstairs because that was one of the new things I forgot to look for in the maze one. Somewhere around here is the downstairs. There it is, right at the edge of the map. Okay. So it seems to all be working. Let's check this in a second. Oh, yeah, we can use matches macro. Isn't that better? Let's do that. And it was, yeah, it was ores. So these are just all the ores. Like that. Okay, good. Let's check that in. We added new tile types for the map. Okay, so let's make a town. We got 45 minutes to make a town. We want to stop making maps randomly and instead start being a bit predictable in what we make. So when you start at depth 1, you always get a town. In map builders, we'll make a new function. For now, it'll just fall back to being random. Okay. We have random shape builder, we have random room builder, and we have random builder. I guess we can put it right here. Level builder. I'm assuming there's a height there. Let's see. And it returns a builder chain. And all it does is call random builder. Oh, and returns it. There we go. Quicker says, what color scheme is that? It's the one that came with the Rust thing. That here, let me, do I have it already here? I do not. Yeah, this is it. Let me paste this into chat. This is what I'm using with a few minor tweaks as my NeoVim setup. And I imagine the color scheme is, as you say, Quaker, is either the default or it's whatever toggle bit tweaked. Yeah, I mean, I like it. Looks good to me, so I haven't bothered with messing around with it. Pop over in main and change the builder function to call our new function. Okay. It's not in main anymore. It's in game state. Yeah. Generate world map. It's right here. So builder, instead of random builder, we're going to call level builder. Okay. Now we'll start fleshing out our level builder. Well, let's first make sure that this, it can see level builder. It can't. Because I misspelled it? Yes, I did misspell it. Okay. B-U-I-L-D-E-R. There we go. So now it's going to do this. RLTK console log format depth something, and then it's going to do a town or a random. Okay. That's straightforward. So we'll see this come out on the JavaScript console. And it's going to be 1 for the town. And otherwise it's just going to pick a random level. Okay. And now we need to create town builder. Oh, we're going to create a new file called town. We have all of these different room things. I want to find a good spot for it. There's a maze. Yeah, okay, let's do it here. Mod, town, use town, town, builder. Okay, and now we're going to create a town builder. Source map builders town.rs. Wait a minute. This should be town builder, right? Yeah, I think this is a typo. I think this should be town builder. Width and height, and it returns a builder chain. And then here, let mod chain is builder chain new depth, width and height. And hopefully that'll just find it. Chain width, otherwise we'll have to be playing around with the imports again. And just return chain. Okay. And then the area starting position and distant exit are temporary to get us valid start endpoints. We might have to pull those in as well, right? Let me do superstar and see if that does the trick. And then pub struct town builder. And this also needs to implement the initial map builder. So we'll need that. And maybe that'll come in from here. Let's find out. Oh, I misspelled builder again. Wow, that's all over the place. Impl initial map builder for town builder. Build data or builder data? Builder map. I always forget what that is. And then this is just self-build rooms. And it's not going to do anything just yet. And here, impl town builder. And then pub fun build rooms is empty. It's just this renamed. It doesn't have to be pub though, right? All right, so that all checks, which means it was able to find the town builder and all of this stuff of initial map builder and the area starting position and distant exit and all that kind of jazz. If I try to run now, it's not going to build a map because there's nothing in build rooms, but it will build the town. And if, in fact, if I just do this, we should see in the console down here in JavaScript console, we should see it say depth 1. So I just want to double check that. And we have an error. So let's figure out what the error is before we go any further. Or it might be because we don't have a map yet. It's failing an area starting position somewhere. And unfortunately, we don't get a line number anywhere in this. So if we run it here, we should see the line number. Sometimes you get a line number in the console log from JavaScript, but sometimes you don't. So no valid floors to start on, right? We're not generating any floors yet. Okay, fair enough. So let me close this actually in case it's spinning its wheels there, and then we're going to create town. So self grass layer, self water and piers, and then make it visible for the snapshot. Okay. I turned off the snapshots, the snapshot display, but maybe we can turn those back on again. What's it? Show map gen visualizer. That's it. So let's turn those back on and we can see it. And that way, as we build the town, we'll be able to see what's going on. Source map. Oops. Didn't mean that. I meant source map builders town. There we go. So we're going to say self grass layer and self water and piers, which needs RNG build data, and then for T in build data map visible tiles iter what T equals true, so we can see the whole thing. Build data take snapshot. Done. Okay, so now we just need the grass layer, which just fills the entire tile in with grass. For T in build data map tiles, item mute T is tile type grass, and then build data take snapshot. If we take a snapshot here and we don't have visible tiles, okay, I'm not gonna think too hard. Adding water is more interesting. We don't want it to be the same each time, but we want to keep the same basic structure. So here's the code. Oh, it's creating some sort of a wiggly wave here with the sine function, and then adding some piers at the end. Okay, so let's do this. And then the build data. Let's see, RNG roll dice 65535, very specific number, F32, divided by 65535 F32. Can I just go .0? I think that's easier to read. Let water depth equal to, is it vec of I32 is vec new, for y in 0 dot build data height. And this I32 plus 14. There's a nice number. RNG roll dice 1 to 6. Water width, push, and water. They're creating an array of water widths. Ends plus equals 0.1. For x in and water, let idx equals build data map xy idx xy. Okay, and then we'll take a snapshot of that after we've built up a little. So it looks like we're just running a little stream. I used to put water depth. This should be water width. And then it saves it in this water width variable. Okay, and then we're going to add the piers. We're going to use the water width array to figure out where the piers go. Okay. So 6. Build data height -1. So we pick an y position 2 plus RNG roll dice 1 to 6 to water width y is u size plus 4. Okay. XY, and then build data map tiles IDX as tile type wood floor. Because we're not worried about bridges yet. Okay. Just a Bubble says, that's a lot of random numbers. Yeah, so we're basically, it looks like what we're doing is we're wiggling our way through, using a sine wave. And then picking random locations for the pier, how many piers there are, where the pier should be on the screen top to bottom, or in the map top to bottom, and then how big the pier should be. So those are the 3 random numbers there. And this is, oops, I missed something over here. I missed a plus sign. Yep, right there. Okay. So we make n equal to the random floating point number between 0 and 1 by rolling a 65,000 sided die. Wouldn't it be nice if one of those existed? It would be a sphere, wouldn't it? And dividing it by the maximum number, we'd make a new vector called water width. We'll store the number. Yeah, so it looks like, yeah, so doing a little wiggly wave thing and then putting some piers along the side. By cargo run, I'll see a map like this now. So, yeah, I can try cargo running as long as the floors issue doesn't come up. Oh, that should be mute. What else? Those the only errors there? Okay. Yep. All right, let's try this. Forgot to snapshot after the piers. Okay. Let's do that. Thank you. We are doing a snapshot here, so I'm not sure what the difference is after we make all the tiles visible versus not. But let's just keep going. Let me build the WASM here and hit refresh. As soon as it's done. Yeah, something didn't work. Ooh. No, sometimes that happens if I refresh too quickly. Right now we have another issue. So area starting position is still going to complain about no floors. So we're going to have to debug this because I think this is just something either I overlooked reading the conversion stuff into when we converted the floors into walkables. Because all these should be walkable, so the area starting position should accept anything that's walkable. And I think it's, let's just double check that it's the same error, no valid floors to start on. I think it is. Yeah. So I think we just need to change that to walkable as well. Yeah. There we go. So all we have to do is say if... Crap, I forgot the... Oh, tile walkable. Like that. And it doesn't like it because I didn't import it. So use... Is it crate map? Tile type? Tile walkable? Nope. That's a private module. So I have to export it from here. There. Okay. And now we have 2 errors. Because tile type is not used. Oops. How do I do a case sensitive search? Yeah, I think that's the error. Oops. And then I hit F1 by accident. All right, so let's try this. I'll hit refresh over here. Oh, look at that. Okay, so we did see it step by step there. And now I can just walk this way, and I don't think anything spawns. But we can see the piers and the grass. And I should be able to walk out the piers, right? It's kind of hard to see with the... And the water I thought was supposed to be a wiggly equal sign. I can walk in the shallow water. Okay. I can walk everywhere, basically. Until I get to the edge of the map. These are all commas instead of the glyph I was expecting. So I wonder if that's something with the way I copy pasted. Oh, where is that? Here. So let's just double check this get tile glyph. Oops. Okay. Yeah, so shallow water and deep water are both these wiggly equal signs. So I'm not sure what's going on with the CP437 code, but it's just showing up as a comma. So I'm not, yeah. Okay, but this is kind of working. We have a nice little wiggly shoreline and a few piers that go along the way, and the piers go all the way to the edge of the grass, which is kind of what you're hoping for. And that was part of the code there. Neat. And if we scroll down here, yeah, here. So this is what it should look like when you actually can see. All these are grayed out because they're not in my visibility range, but you can see it when I'm here. Grass is green, water is cyan, and the piers are brown, so it's nice. Adding town walls, gravel, and a road. Okay, let's do this. What are we going to do? Now that we have some terrain, we should add some initial outline to the town. Extend the build function with another function call. Available building tiles and wall gap Y. That's what it's going to return. It's going to return a hash set of use size and an I32. All right, so let's add this to our town. Let's check in what we got first. Or commit, sorry, what we've got. The beginnings of a town level. So we're going to extend our town builder to call this. I guess it happens here. Like that. We will need to pull in hash set. Okay, and now we'll just add this town walls function. It goes inside. RNG is mud random generator. Build data is a mud builder map, and it's going to return a tuple of a hash set of use size and an I32. Okay. Wow. These are long variable names. Hash set. I'll just say hash set new. And if it complains, we'll fix it. Wall gap Y. -9 plus 5. Okay. Picking a random location for the wall gap. Okay. If y is greater than wall gap y minus 4, and y is less than wall gap y plus 4. So if it's not in the wall gap region, then we're going to do this. Let idx is build data map xy idx 30 comma y. What's the magic number 30 for? Why are we starting at x equals 30? I guess we'll find out when I read the next section. Tile type wall. Equals tile type floor. Build data map xy idx build data width minus 2 and y. So what is this doing? RIGHT. There we go. So this is getting, okay, it's going to the edge, the right edge of the map. Okay. And it's putting a wall there. I missed the equal sign. For x in 31, so this is the 30 that we're seeing here, and 31 is here. Build data width minus 2. Gravel idx. And we're going to say build data map tiles. Gravel is tile type. Gravel. If y is greater than 2 and y is less than y, build data height minus 1, available, building tiles, insert gravel idx. So we're generating somehow a list of all the places we can put something, I guess. Maybe this is for building town buildings. Else for x in 30 build data width. Build data map tiles road idx is equal tile type road. And then we're going to take a snapshot after this for loop. Build data, take snapshot, and then we're going to do this. Which is, let's just copy paste this. And this is just minus 1 here, and this idx top. X1 idx top is going to be a wall, and then do the same thing for the bottom. It's going to be build data height minus 2. Like that. Epic Blog says, any plans for what you're going to do when you're done with this guide / tutorial? I do want to make a roguelike when I'm done with this. I want to generate my own, and I figure what I can do is kind of design it offline and then write it on stream. I do also want to do this, crafting interpreters, which part 2 here, tree walk interpreters in Java in this thing. And part 3 is in C, and I figured it would be interesting to port this to Rust to see how Rust and Java and C are all different. It would be nice to do. And doing that on stream might stretch my Rust capabilities a bit, which is the whole point of doing these streams. Epic Blog says, that's really neat. I hope so. I think it'll be really interesting. I don't know if anybody's played with locks before. Somebody else on stream a couple months ago recommended this to me, so I did look it over a little bit and see what it was like, but porting it to Rust would be a very interesting exercise. All right, so we make a new hash set call available building tiles. Yep. We'll be returning to this so that other functions can use it later. Or we'll be returning this, right? So other functions can use it later. We set wall gap to be a random Y location on the map. So it's just picking a random here. You can see there, we iterate Y axis on the map. So if we cargo run now, we'll see the outline of a town. Okay. And this is why it's 30, is because we're shifting it over by the water depth or water distance, I guess. Cargo check, and we fail. Wall gab. Build data map. Gravel doesn't exist. Did I forget gravel? What happened? Yeah, there is no gravel. Okay. Did I just miss that when... No. It's in the build function with another build call. Let me look for gravel here. Yeah, okay, so it's just a new tile type, I guess. Interesting. Gravel. And we're going to say that it is walkable. Okay. From your experience, Quaker says, from your experience, should you try to be jack of all trades due to how modern age is and how fast things are moving, or should you pursue a mastery of one thing? I would recommend, well, recommend is a very strong term. Everybody has their own path through development or DevOps or SecOps or whatever interests you. If you have a job doing something, you want to master that job, but you also want to keep your mind sharp. So you want to keep looking at new technologies to try out. Like my day job is writing C code in OS kernel programming. And I'm doing this Rust stream because I want to learn Rust and I want to extend my knowledge a bit. So I wouldn't consider myself a jack of all trades, but I wouldn't consider myself a master of any one thing, because I've gone through a number of different jobs in my career so far. And each one, you do dive into it and you learn as much as you can and you figure out how to be the best you can be in that. And then when you can't learn anymore, that's when you move on to the next thing. But I don't give life advice, so I can just speak to my own experience. All right, so we added gravel. We also need to add gravel as a glyph, right? Because once we do this cargo check, it's going to say that our glyph data doesn't exist. Oh, I got to return these things. Let me do that so that we can get to the other error message. So this is just available building tiles and wall gap. Y. All right, so now will this bring us over to the glyph? Oops. Yes. Okay, so now we got to figure out what glyph should we use, and I think we can see here. What are they using? That's hard to see. Oh, I made the wrong thing bigger. There we go. If I click here, zooming this won't help because it's just a... I think those are hashtags, but I can't tell. Let me just add them as hashtags and see what happens. But you don't want that because it's... that's a wall. What can we use for gravel? Epic Blog says, I'm a master of procrastination. Yeah, and that's definitely a good skill to acquire. What should we use? I'm going to use colon for now, and then we'll see what causes that to blow up later. RGB named RLTK. I'll use gray also. This is interesting. This has road as an exclamation point. But when we look at the road here, it's these horizontal lines. Okay. I'm getting too hung up on this stuff. All right, so we have 4 warnings, probably because we're not using the those other things. That's fine. So let's see if this generates us a wall, and then we can call it a stream. Not a wall, a town region. Yeah, we're not using these guys. Okay. Yeah, so exclamation point's not a good tile to use for road, because it's a potion thing. But this seems to have worked, although it's all the way at the bottom. I don't know if that's legit. Let's hit refresh. Okay, there it is. It's in the middle. And for some reason we start the upper left-hand corner in the middle of the water. That doesn't make sense. All right. So this is all the gravel. These are the walls. Okay, so it looks like it's working. And this is an 80 by 50 map, and we can always make it bigger if we need to for the town. All right, so let's check in with Clippy. We're going to ignore these errors for now, or these warnings, because we're going to come back to them tomorrow. Yeah, and that's the only mistakes. Okay, so commit -m. Town now has walls and a road and a buildable area. Okay, let's push this up. It should be up here. Yeah, you were pretty productive today. That's good. It's great when somebody else writes the code for you. It's easy to be productive. Okay, and then let's do a quick Twitch search on streaming Rust. Nobody's streaming Rust right now. Oh man. All right, let me do a see my people I follow. Oh, Jackie Codes. Okay, let's go visit Jackie Codes. All right, so thanks everyone for hanging out with me and helping me along on this journey through the roguelike. Tomorrow we're going to be adding buildings, so that should be a lot of fun. And so I hope to catch you there. And meanwhile, we're going to raid Jackie Codes. I don't know what she's working on, but it looks pretty interesting. Let's start the raid. All right, take care, everyone. Thanks again.